This week on TechRap, Instagram comes to Windows Phone. We take a look at the self-healing LG Flex. And we review the all-new Retina iPad mini. Hello from the Cotai Strip in Macau, I'm Michael Josh, and this is TechRap, your weekly source for tech news, gadget reviews, app recommendations, and social media tips. 1 month after Kevin Systrom promised it was coming soon, Instagram for Windows Phone is now available on the Windows Phone Store. The beta version is not as polished as its iOS and Android siblings. Instagram for Windows Phone currently does not support capturing and uploading videos. It also does not have an in-app camera. By default, you are asked to upload from your camera roll, and when you click the camera icon, it launches your smartphone's default camera app instead. You can't tag photos either, but all that should come soon. Instagram promises, quote, "We're not finished, and our team will continue developing the Windows Phone app to keep releasing features and bringing you the best Instagram possible." Everything else works as expected. And just in case you're wondering, all 20 filters found on the original app are there for your enjoyment. Instagram for Windows Phone is a free download and supports Windows Phone 8 and higher. Just go easy on the hashtags, please. Previously, we reported that the Samsung Galaxy Note 3 could shoot 4K video. That's video in a quality higher than full HD. But that comes with one caveat. You'll need a device that supports it, and you can't preview it on your smartphone. But that will change really soon with a new processor from Qualcomm. This week, Qualcomm, the American semiconductor company that makes the popular Snapdragon processor, announces its new Snapdragon 805 CPU. The 805 is the successor to the Snapdragon 800 processor found on devices like the Note 3, LG's G2, Sony's Xperia Z1, and the just-released Nexus 5. Snapdragon 805 supports 4K video capture and playback. It includes an improved GPU that supposedly provides 40% more graphics processing power than its predecessor. It supports up to 4 2.5 GHz cores. Devices powered by the next-gen smartphone CPU are expected to ship the first half of 2014. The battle between Sony's PlayStation 4 and Microsoft's Xbox One heats up this week as Microsoft's next-generation console goes on sale on Friday. We don't have access to the overnight sales figures yet, but Microsoft has tough sales figures to go up against. When it went on sale last week, the PlayStation 4 sold 1 million units in its first 24 hours. Of course, the fight has just begun. Sales numbers during the upcoming holiday season will determine the winner. Forecast data by market research firm IHS published in The Economist predicts more PS4s will be sold versus the Xbox One over the course of the next few years. But that will boil down to a variety of factors. One thing is sure, consoles and similar external entertainment devices are a growing segment for content consumption online. Do you remember Winamp, that once oh-so-famous MP3 player that was skinnable and allowed you to create playlists? Well, Winamp is closing for good next month. The company was purchased by AOL in 1999 and evolved into a music streaming service. Development of the app continued with versions of Android and Mac OS X released in 2010 and 2011 respectively. We're not really sure how many of you are still even using the service, but we thought it only fitting to say our goodbyes to a player that at one point in time played all our music. A few weeks back, LG released a promotional video highlighting 2 features of its new curved smartphone, the LG Flex. While we have yet to get our hands on the device to test these features for ourselves, the video is worth checking out. See here, in the self-healing test, it shows under the right conditions, scratches on the back of the device disappear after a few minutes. The durability test demonstrates that the G Flex is indeed flexible. Up to 32 kilograms of weight is applied to the phone. It flexes and pops back in place. An independent video by Marcus Bronley on YouTube confirms these claims are to a certain degree valid. We can't wait to get our hands on the LG Flex. The other LG phone, the G2, is one of our most favorite smartphones of 2013. On the outside, there isn't any noticeable difference between last year's original iPad mini and this year's new Retina model, but the update is significant enough to make it not only the best iPad out there, but the best tablet of 2013. Compared to the 9.7-inch flagship iPad Air, the 7.9-inch iPad mini is a sweet spot of tablet sizes, but the original iteration was missing a few all-important bells and whistles. In 2012, the iPad mini looked like the iPad's less fortunate cousin, running off an older, less powerful A5 processor, when the iPad had the latest and greatest A6 processor. And without the much-hyped Retina display, found not only on the full-sized iPad, but the iPhone 5 and several iPhones before it. In principle, I loved what the iPad mini was all about. Better design, smaller form factor, and a well-polished operating system. But I couldn't recommend it. It didn't make any sense to buy one when we knew Apple was capable of delivering what was missing. This year's Retina iPad mini fixes all of that. The device runs off the same A7 processor as the new iPad Air and the iPhone 5S. And finally brings us the Retina screen, a 2048 by 1536 pixel resolution. That's an impressive 326 pixels per inch. If you don't have a Retina device, you won't notice the difference, but once you go Retina, there's no going back. Text is crisper, images pop out. It's truly a more immersive experience. The A7 chip also doesn't disappoint. The iPad mini with Retina can take the most challenging of applications. What can be more challenging than editing a video? We did that on iMovie. The new performance-hungry Infinity Blade 3 without a hitch. Everything else is pretty decent for a tablet. A 5-megapixel camera that can shoot full HD video, and a 1.9-megapixel front-facing FaceTime camera that has been improved to perform better in low light. Other quiet changes include improved support for MIMO Wi-Fi, which speeds up connectivity by allowing the sending and receiving of multiple Wi-Fi signals at once, and dual noise-canceling microphones. All this while delivering the same 10-hour battery life with heavy use. The iPad mini Retina comes in 16, 32, 64, and 128GB versions, Wi-Fi and Wi-Fi plus cellular models, and silver or space gray paint jobs. Base models start at $399. From where I stand, the iPad mini is the best tablet of 2013. It is the perfect device when you need to cut down on space. With an optional keyboard, it's a great laptop replacement at meetings. If you read a lot, it's small and light enough for one-hand operation. iOS still outdoes Android in terms of apps designed specifically for tablets. Apple counts 475,000 so far. And aesthetically, it's still the best-looking tablet out there. If you're in the market for a new tablet, there's no longer any reason why you should not get the new iPad mini. The Retina version deserves the TechRap seal of approval. And that was TechRap. A little bit about Macau, if you may. Administered by the Portuguese until 1999, Macau is the last European settlement in Asia. As you can see, it pretty much looks like Las Vegas, and it is one of the biggest gambling destinations in the region. So you know the drill, folks. Follow Rappler.com on social media, join our conversations online, and send us emails. All that information is below. Next week, we'll be back in Manila, back in the studio. And that's all for this week, folks. I'm Michael Josh. Thanks for dropping by.